Welcome dear students. Today we deals with the hormones and hormone antagonist. Amongst that we see the insulin. Insulin, which is a hormone, we see the details of the insulin. Learning outcomes of today's session. After watching this video, students are able to understand and recognize what is meant by hormones, site of secretion of hormones, what is meant by hypoglycemic agents, insulin, metabolism of insulin, functions of insulin, then what is diabetes mellitus, preparation of insulins, and side effects of insulin therapy. Let's start our session. First of all, we see what is meant by hormones. Hormones can be referred to as a chemical messenger that transport a signal from one cell to the another cell. Hormone is used as a signal messenger from give messages from the one cell to the another one. All multicellular organisms can produce the hormones. In plants, hormones are known as the phytohormones. In the animals, hormones are transmitted through the blood. Hormones act by the binding the specific receptor present on the surface of the cell. Then binding activates the signal transduction mechanism that ultimately lead to the cell type specific response. Hormones are very specific in their action. Hormones are released or secreted by the exocrine or endocrine gland in our body. Then we see the endocrine hormones. Endocrine hormones are secreted directly into the bloodstream, whereas exocrine hormones are released directly into the duct, from which they flow either into the bloodstream or cell to cell by diffusion in a process known as the paracrine signaling link, or it is a type of the signal link which is target the cell near the signal releasing cell. Endocrine that are the hormone is directly released into the bloodstream or nearer to the organ or nearer to the tissue where it needed one. Hormones leave their original cell through the exocytosis or by any other means of the membrane transport. Hormone antagonist is a specific type of the receptor antagonist which act upon the hormone. Hormone act by the binding to the specific receptors, thus provoking a specific biological response. Hormones antagonist or receptor antagonist is a type of the receptor ligand or the drug that compete with the hormone for its receptor, and on the binding does not initiate the hormone specific biological responses or biological mechanisms. All in all, hormones are secreted by the endocrine or exocrine glands. Hormones can transfer the message from one cell to another cells. They are very specific in their action, and they are hormone antagonist, which is a type of the ligand which compete for that hormone with the hormone. These are the some endocrine and exocrine glands. That is the hypothalamus, in that pineal, pituitary, thyroid, parathyroid, thymus, adrenal glands, prostate glands. Then we see the hypoglycemic agents. The agent that reduce the blood glucose level are known as the hypoglycemic agents, which reduce the blood sugar level also. For that purpose we use the insulin. Insulin is a polypeptide hormone secreted by beta cells of the pancreas, islets of the Langerhans of the pancreas. This is the pancreas, and this insulin can be secreted by the beta cells of the islets of Langerhans of the pancreas. The factor controlling its release are not clear, but the glucose concentration of the blood perfuming the pancreas is involved, as well as the glucagon. Ketone bodies, duodenal factor, then pancreomycin or pancreozymin are the controlling factors. This is the islets of Langerhans. In that these are the beta cells. There are alpha cells also, but these beta cells can secrete the insulin one. Then we see the metabolism of the insulin. Insulin has a number of action on the metabolism which were earlier thought to be due to the stimulation of the carbohydrate metabolism, but now studies have shown it is due to the increase in the permeability of the cell to glucose, perhaps by removal of the transport inhibitor. That's why insulin can be metabolized. Then this increased the permeability of increased tissue uptake and utilization of the glucose. But even in the presence of the insulin, the blood glucose level must be over the threshold of the 70 to 90 milligram per 100 ml of the blood for uptake occur. That means normal blood sugar level, fasting blood sugar level is the 70 to 90 milligram per 100 ml. The absence of the insulin, whether by the deficiency or antagonism, glucose will still be utilized. But threshold of the tissue uptake will be very high, and as a result glucose accumulates in the blood to give the characteristic hypoglycemia or diabetes mellitus. In this way the person is suffering from the diabetes mellitus because of the inadequate supply of the or inadequate metabolism of the insulin. If the rise glucose level exceeds the renal threshold about 80 mg per 100 ml, glucose passes into the urine. That is glycosuria. When glucose passes into the urine, that condition is known as the glycosuria, and the consequent osmotic diuresis process cause the dehydration and electrolyte disturbances one. Then we see the functions of the insulin. Insulin also increases the synthesis and storage of the glycagon in the peripheral tissue such as the heart, skeletal muscle, though the intracellular concentration of the glucose in the liver depend on the concentration of the perfusing plasma, and it is not altered by the insulin one. Insulin's first function is to synthesis and storage of the glycagon. Insulin antagonizes the gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis, it is the process we discuss it later. Prompts tissue formation is the another function of the insulin. It stimulates amino acid incorporation. Then it stimulates the protein synthesis. Protein synthesis stimulation is one of the function of the insulin. Insulin also increases the fat storage in the adipose tissue by stimulating the lipogenesis. Then inhibiting the lipolysis so as to decrease the plasma free fatty acid. Glyconeogenesis, that is it is a metabolic pathway that results into the generation of the glucose from the certain non-carbohydrate moiety. From the non-carbohydrate substance we can generate the glucose. That condition is known as the gluconeogenesis. Then what is meant by diabetes mellitus. The diabetic syndrome is due to the relative or absolute deficiency of the insulin and is characterized by the rise in the blood glucose level. The hyperglycemia causes the glycosuria. Glycosuria, that is the presence of glucose in the urine with the consequent osmotic diuresis and electrolyte and water depletion. Besides this, there is also increase in the metabolization of the fat, which is in the part of the metabolized to give the excessive amount of the acetoacetic acid and its derivative in the blood. When this acetoacetic derivative or acetoacetic acid in its derivative found in the blood, that condition is known as the ketosis, and it is also found in our that person's urine. The increase in the gluconeogenesis caused the rise in the urinary nitrogen and tissue wasting. Although diabetes mellitus once mean these classical symptoms of the polyuria, glycosuria, loss of the weight, ketosis, there are minor degrees of the carbohydrate intolerance. Various stages of the diabetes mellitus have been recognized. Then we see the what is meant by glycosuria. Glycosuria is the condition that is a excess of excess of sugar in the urine. Then we see the preparation of the insulin. Insulin is used mainly to treat the diabetes mellitus, but may also be used to stimulate the appetite, to produce the hypoglycemic convulsions in the schizophrenic, and to treat the hyperkalemia. As insulin promotes the passage of the glucose and potassium into the cell. Although its structure is known, insulin is not commercially synthesized, but it is obtained from the animals like the beef and the pork. Insulin cannot be synthesized commercially. It may be detected and assayed chemically, though the bioassay is often used, such as the estimating the fall of the blood sugar in the rabbits or production of the hypoglycemic coma in the mice. We can perform the different experiments on the different bioassay on the animals. Insulin should be given parenterally as well as destroyed by the gastric juice. Insulin never given by the oral route because it can be destroyed by the gastric juices. So it is performed by the intramuscular route is a more favorite one. We see the preparation of the insulin injections, that is a soluble insulin zinc suspension, that is known as a lint insulins. This lint insulin has the insulin zinc suspension, amorphous, which is amorphous in nature. Then insulin zinc suspension, insulin lint, which is known as the insulin lint, and insulin zinc suspension crystalline. Insulin ultra lint is known as. Then protamine zinc insulin, then isophene insulin or globin zinc insulin. These are the preparations of the insulin. Then we see the side effects of the insulin therapy. Side effects are mainly due to the overaction with the development of the hypoglycemia. Hypersensitivity may occur occasionally, and resistance may develop due to the formation of the antagonizing antibodies. Lipomata or lipomas and the fat atrophy can occur at the site of the repeated injection and may cause the erratic absorption. Lipomas or lipomata are the composed of the adipose or fat tissue, are mobile, soft to touch, typical, painless and present subcutaneously. Lipotrophy is the diffuse the loss of the subcutaneous adipose tissue that most apparent in the face, buttock, leg and the arms. These are the side effects of the insulin therapy. In this session, we see what is meant by hormones, secretion of hormones, hypoglycemic agents, insulin's metabolism, functions of insulin, diabetes mellitus, preparations of insulins, side effect of insulin therapy. Thank you very much for attending this session.